So why did I leave a high ticket sales role that had months where I was earning over £10,000 a month in commission? Why did I leave it? Now, before we get into this, you may be watching this video if you're looking to get into sales, or you may be watching this video if you're currently in sales and you're looking for something new. The intention of this video is to share my reasons of why I got into sales and why I ended up leaving sales, just to give you some direction of the route that you want to go. So why did I leave sales? Well, sales changed my life. Before I even get into this, like if you're watching this and you're looking to get into sales, or you're currently new to sales, like I'd strongly recommend like staying in the industry. Like sales changed my life. Like I am forever grateful for what that skill has done for my life, enabled me to travel the world, enabled me to be a confident speaker, enabled me to interview 6, 7, 8, 9-figure entrepreneurs on my podcast called Freedom Lifestyle. Like I believe that the skill of sales, especially with AI coming in, is probably one of the most important skills that you can possibly learn if you are an entrepreneur. If you want to build businesses, if you want to be involved with businesses, like learn how to sell. But why did I leave? Well, I started when I was 19 years old, and it got to a point when I was in my mid-20s. I was earning really good money, but I was stuck in the UK. I was driving around the country. I felt trapped. Yes, I was earning good money, but I was just working 6 days a week in a country that I didn't want to be in. And yes, if you're watching this, the amazing thing about sales now is that remote sales is a massive thing. Like myself and my business partner, Jordan at Sales Growth Club, like we actually run sales teams. You know, we build, we train, we manage high ticket sales teams for mentors and coaches to help them scale their business so they can focus on content and service delivery. So I've turned my skill of sales, I've turned it into a business because I've still got so much love for it. I've used my skill and I've turned it into a freedom-based business where I'm now able to be anywhere in the world and I'm able to run the sales team. I'm able to build sales teams. And even if I was still doing the sales myself, I could be doing the sale. I'm currently filming this right now, living in Mexico. I've been here for the past 5 months. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if it wasn't for the skill of sales. But I'll take you back to the point of why I left. I was doing high ticket sales, I was in the UK, I was driving around the country, and I was sat in a car park and I was eating a meal deal because my life was so busy. I didn't have the time to be able to do meal preps. I'd be leaving the house at like 7, half 7 in the morning. I would fit in a gym session in the morning, win the day. If you know me, then you know I'm all about winning the morning. So I'd always make sure I'd get a gym workout in before. I'd then leave the house on the road for like 7, half 7. I could have like a 30-minute, 2-hour drive to an appointment because it wasn't remote sales. I'd drive to someone's home, they'd have a solar appointment, I'd be their energy consultant, and I would find out how solar could save them a lot of money, you know, rather than paying for the high energy bills. That was my role, but I was doing it round somebody's house. So I had to drive to multiple houses on a day-to-day basis. I'd usually get around about 2 to 3 appointments per day, and it was in a 50-mile radius. But it could be 50 miles one way, but then 50 miles the other. So it'd then be 100 miles to get to the next appointment. So I spent an average of like 4 to 6 hours every single day just driving. Like I spent so much time in my car driving down motorways when the reality of it was like, I wanted to be free. My sales role before my high ticket sales, I used to do event sales in Mallorca. So I was living in the sun, I was running events, and I was having an amazing time. So to go from that type of lifestyle into being in England, working 6 days a week, like yes, I was earning good money, but did I feel truly free? No, I didn't. And I can vividly remember when I was sat in the car park, I thought to myself, imagine I could do this remotely. I wouldn't need to spend all these hours every single day, like 4 to 6 hours every day. You do that 6 days a week. You know, you're looking at like a day of actually driving, a whole day. So if you do that 52 weeks in a year, that's 52 days of driving. That's nearly 2 months of driving. When you really start to look at your time and how you want to be spending your time, like let me ask you, how happy would you be if you spent nearly 2 months a year driving, just driving your car? Like how happy would that make you? Because for me, Yes, I utilized that time with podcasts and education, but a lot of the time was just wasted time. And in them hours, I could have been sat on sales calls. I could have been running businesses. I could have been traveling the world, living life. But instead I was just driving. So I had an epiphany. I was like, why didn't I take this remote? So I worked for one of the largest solar companies in the UK, and they didn't do remote sales. It was all in person, but I wanted to do it remote. And I said to who I was living with, my best friend, Charlie, I said to him, I went, why don't we take this remote? So we set up a limited company. We started running our own ads, generating our own traffic. I was literally out door knocking. I was putting leaflets through doors, running ads. We were investing our own money to make this work, and we did it. We cracked it. We partnered with someone that could run ads, started generating our own traffic, and then we started having remote opportunity to do this remote. And we had a vision that we were going to build a remote solar team for the company. Like, we had no intentions of doing it for ourselves. We wanted to grow with the company and build a team so we could all be remote and we could all be anywhere we wanted. But unfortunately, when I started having that vision and actually putting it into fruition, unfortunately, the company wasn't on board with it, and they didn't want us to do it. So I made a decision. I ended up leaving, and I started a podcast called Freedom Lifestyle. And that's when it led me on to interviewing 6, 7, 8, 9-figure entrepreneurs. And they were all working online. They were able to be anywhere in the world, and it really started to make me think. And that was the reason why I left sales, was because I wanted more freedom. I wanted more control, because I realized you can't always build a business underneath another business, unless it's like network marketing as an example, and you basically are building a business underneath a business. But for a lot of businesses, you're unable to do that. Like, I had so many entrepreneurial thoughts and ideas that I could have really helped grow the company. But unfortunately, they weren't open to that, and I'm happy. That's no judgment at all. That's their decision, and I'm very grateful for that decision, because it's led me onto a completely different path. So that's why I left sales. So I guess if you're watching this, my question to you is, why are you doing sales? Why are you in sales? And what's your long-term vision? And if sales is in alignment with that, which I'm sure it will be, because it's one of the most life-changing skills you can ever learn, or you might be watching this and you're ready to take your skill of sales and build your own business, like build a sales agency or become a sales coach. Or you've got another skill of like fitness or content, social media. You want to utilize that skill and build a freedom-based business. Well, if that's the case, like, connect with me. Check the description. Connect with me. Check the description. Like, I want to help and serve you and give you the knowledge that I've invested tens of thousands into mentors to learn. I want to give you that for free. So let's just get connected. My mission with this channel is to just make an impact. So if that can even just help you, then I'm extremely happy. So my moral of the story of today is, if you feel out of alignment with whatever you're doing, don't carry on doing it, because there are so much opportunity out in the world, and the key is to get clear on the type of lifestyle that you want, the freedom lifestyle that you want. Once you know what the freedom lifestyle is, you can start moving towards your desired reality. And that means making sure that the vehicle that you're in is the right vehicle, because so many people, including myself, have been in periods of being in the wrong vehicle, going down the wrong road. Sometimes you need to get back on track. Peace. I'll be seeing you on the next one. Hasta luego.